Hello YouTube. So I let myself go on eBay again, and this happened. This is an Asus FX 517ZE, and I paid £198 and 3p for it. So the seller said that it doesn't power on. Nothing's built on it, mainly used it for work and gaming. Included the original box and the charger with no parts removed, so that's a good sign. Hopefully no one's been in there and messed with it too much. It looks in pretty good condition. It's a bit grubby, but the hinges feel okay, which is good. Let's pop the bottom cover off and see if we can figure out what's going on with it. Oh, it's missing a screw. It's missing a base screw, so someone has been in this before. Okay. Let's see. Those clips did not want to come out of the base plate. Okay, it looks okay. My god, it's dusty. Whoa. Wow, that is thick. Bet this had some overheating problems. That's insane. Wow. Well, I'm definitely gonna have to clean the fans out. Yeah, check that out. Okay, let's plug the charger in and see what it does. I don't have one of these tips for my bench power supply, so I'm going to have to just use the charger. We're not going to rely on any current measurements for this one. We're just going to see if anything happens with the charger plugged in. But yeah, no response from the power button. And the charge light's not lighting up. Wait, is this one of the ones that has the light sensor? One of the Asuses I did recently had a light sensor on this I/O board that would prevent it from turning on when this I/O board was plugged in. So I'm just going to unplug that, but it doesn't look to have the same sensor, so I don't think that'll make a difference. Yeah, still nothing. Okay, let's see if we're getting any voltage from the charger. That's a good start point. Going to measure with one pin on ground and see if we get 20 volts, and there we go. Yeah, 20 volts from the charger. That's good. Let's try and find the main power rail next. So we'll go through a MOSFET here and a MOSFET here. So we want to know if there's power beyond this second MOSFET. No, there is not. Okay, so the first two MOSFETs aren't opening. I mean, the first one, nothing. But we have power into the system. So maybe we've got a short on the main power rail, on the 19-volt rail. Let's swap to resistance and see what happens. So, from the second MOSFET, is there a short circuit? Yeah, we get 12 ohms to ground. That's a pretty nasty value, unfortunately. Let's just unplug the battery. Yeah, still 12 ohms to ground. That's not a good sign at all. So yeah, 12 ohms to ground is a bit of a suspicious value. If it was 0 ohms to ground, I wouldn't be so worried. But 12 ohms to ground could be a bad MOSFET that's connecting the 19-volt rail to another power rail. So we could be looking at bad VRAM, I could be looking at maybe bad RAM rail. Let's get some access to the rest of the board, remove the heatsink and things like that, and see if we can find anything else on the board that is 12 ohms. These heatsink screws are tight to support the back of the machine to break this one loose. Oh, wow. Oh, those are crazy tight. Is the CPU the same? Yeah. I don't know what kind of machine tightened those up when it came out of the factory, but they are too tight. Took a lot of force to break those screws. Okay. So we've got all these coils around the board. And these coils signify the output of a power supply, a buck power supply. So that's where all the power rails are going to show up. So that's what I'm going to measure. I'm going to measure these power rails, these coil outputs to ground, and double check that none of them are also showing up as 12 ohms. If one of them shows up at 12 ohms, we have a pretty big problem. So this is 340, that's okay. A small one here, 3.8k, that's fine. VRAM, 56 ohms, okay, oh, okay, yeah, so I wasn't shot there. Okay, VRAM is 56 ohms, which is these two coils here. That's a good value, that's really good news. I don't know what this coil is, maybe this is battery charging. And this one, probably RAM supply. Okay, that's good news as well. I don't know what that rail is, but it's also okay. No short there. No short there. Which leaves CPU coils. Oh, please don't be a CPU issue. .3k. 16 ohms. 14 ohms. 13 ohms. That's pretty close. Not getting very good measurements with my multimeter today. .56 ohms there, don't know what that is. And the GPU core is 750 milliamps, that's fine. Okay, so each of these phases will have two MOSFETs, one's a high side and one's a low side. So the high side FET takes 19 volts and the low side FET switches most of that 19 volts back off. So at the output of this coil there will be around 1 volt for the CPU supply. So we're going to measure from the top there, which will be the high side, the input to that first FET at 19 volts, which is short to ground. Let's measure that to ground. Is it not short to ground? Oh, it is, yeah. There we go. I don't know what's going on with my multimeter today. Yeah, 12 ohms there. And we're going to measure to the end of this coil. Oh no, that's not good. So I was hoping that that resistance would go up, not down. So this capacitor measures 12 ohms to ground. This coil measures 14 ohms to ground. But between the capacitor and the coil is 0 ohms. So there is a direct short circuit between 19 volts and the 1 volt rail for the CPU, which means we might have a dead CPU here. Hopefully not. So the next thing we've got to do is find out which one of the high side MOSFETs is bad. This was a higher resistance, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. So it could be that one, that one, that one, that one, and these ones are okay. Okay, so the short is only on this coil, this coil, this coil, and this coil. So we've got 4 phases there, which have the problem. So, because it's a short from 19 volts into the coil, then we have a bad high side MOSFET. So it can be one of these 4. I could inject power to find out which of these 4 MOSFETs is bad, but instead I'm gonna measure the gates and see which one of these gate signals is short to ground. That's kind of an easier way sometimes. So 38k on that one, 5.6, 36, 17, 15, okay. So that one is bad. 5.6 there. Let's just mark that one so I don't forget which one it is. I don't think I need to take the board out of the chassis to remove this. I'm just gonna, I don't know, put a thermal pad there. Make sure we don't melt the plastic. Let's pop that MOSFET off and see if the short lifts. Okay. So the MOSFET is removed. And do we still have a short on 19? Nope. That's good. So the short is gone. I wonder if this will be some kind of easy pizza. Probably not. We probably have a dead CPU. The CPU's not short to ground though, which is good, but it doesn't mean it lived. I'm gonna just temporarily put that heatsink back on, plug it in and see if anything happens. Theoretically it should power on now, but I don't think it will display an image. Because that MOSFET's one of many phases, then we can test the laptop without it. If that was a single phase power supply, we wouldn't be checking it without it, but because there's 3 more coils that should be providing the correct voltage, one missing is not going to matter too much. So if this does work, I'll put a new MOSFET on, but I think this is going to be a no fix. Not no lights. Huh. I would have expected a bit more. Now, let me just go back to voltage measurements and see if I get 19 volts at my main rail now. No. 20 volts at the charger, but nothing outputting from those first MOSFETs again. But I checked, the short's gone. What? What's going on here? I swear I just checked that the short was gone. Did another MOSFET fail? Did I remove the wrong one? This is confusing. What about the one below it? Is that low side? These are dual MOSFETs actually, so there isn't a high and a low side. They're both high and low side MOSFETs. But the one below it also 8 ohms. So let's remove that one as well. I thought I checked for shorts. Maybe my multimeter messed me up. It's not measuring very well today. Okay. Short is definitely gone this time. Let's go back to voltage before we put the heatsink on. I just plug it in and see, make sure we yeah, okay, we've got 16 volts there now. 20, there we go. Okay, let's try this again. So I've removed both of those MOSFETs, which seem to be bad. Let's pop the heatsink on temporarily and see what happens. So again, we don't need those MOSFETs for now, just for testing. If it works, we can put some MOSFETs back on. If not, we probably have a dead CPU. So okay, this time it's going to turn on. Hey, okay. We've got a blinking charge light, which is good. Set the power button. It's doing something. The keyboard lit up for a second there. I'll be really surprised if this works, because oh my god, have we got an image? No way. I was just about to say how those MOSFETs failing means that the CPU has probably been sent 19 volts. The CPU has probably been sent 19 volts, which is too much voltage for a CPU. I mean, the CPU on these is meant to run, I think, 1 volt, 1.7 maybe, maximum. And so, for it to turn on after... Oh my god, it still works. No way. So, yeah, for it to work after the CPU has been sent 19 volts, more than 10 times what the CPU was meant to receive, is crazy. I thought I'd have to replace the CPU on this thing, but it looks like we stand to make some money. Nice. I can't believe this works. It's obviously still got an SSD in there, still got some RAM in there, which is good, and it came with a charger as well, so this will be 2 MOSFETs, a quick test, and it'll be ready to sell. So yeah, let's see if I've got those MOSFETs in stock, and we can replace those, clean out the fans, and get this ready to go. Right, before I replace these MOSFETs, I'm just going to quickly remeasure the resistance on those gate signals for the MOSFETs. Just because sometimes a MOSFET set like this will kill its controller. And so you want to make sure these gate signals aren't short. Okay. Okay, that's not brilliant. Yeah, so that gate signal is 6 ohms to ground. That's 31k. And that's, yeah, okay, so they share, that's why both of them are dead, I see. So, these two gate signals are shared. I imagine it's the same with the pair next to it. Yeah, okay, so each of these MOSFETs shares the same drive signals, essentially. And so, we removed the first one, and that was fine, but when we plugged it in again, because the gate signal was bad, the second one also failed. Either that or they failed at the same time, but that would explain why these two are both dead. So we can't just replace those MOSFETs, because if we do, the new MOSFETs will fail again. And we don't want that. Let's take the board out. Actually, we don't need to take the board out. Let's find the CPU controller, which is over here. It's an RT3624BE. So it could be a fault here, or there could be doublers on the other side of the board. It could have a faulty doubler. So let's take the board out. Yeah, let's take the board out and see if we can figure out if that gate signal comes directly from the CPU buck controller or if it comes from the doubler. Okay, there we go. We have some chips on the back of the board. These are the doublers, I think. There's, what, 6 of them? 4 of them for CPU core and 2 of them for the last couple of coils, which is CPU GT. So, one of these is going to be the control for those 2 MOSFETs that are bad. Let's measure and compare. So, each of these chips corresponds with the MOSFET or a set of MOSFETs on the front side of the board. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's the 4th one from the right hand side that I think will control these 2 MOSFETs. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, I suspect this guy to be causing the short. So let's remove that. Okay, with that doubler removed, what do we get on our gate signals? $10K. Open line. $10K. Open line. Okay, so we got it. That's the that's the control signal fixed. Well, not fixed, at least isolated. So now we just need to find replacement MOSFETs and a replacement chip for the back side of the board, and we should be good to rock and roll. Okay, I got lucky, I had some in stock, so let's get these done. I think I probably have to pull one of those doublers off a donor board. Hopefully I've got one with the same chip. Just clean up the area. These new MOSFETs seem to be a bit oxidized. They're not soldering as well as I'd like, so I'm just going over and trying to clean up and tin up the oxidized pads. Then I can put them back on the board and be a bit more confident that they are soldered well. Okay, FATs are back on. Not really happy with my soldering, but it's good enough. And the gates seem soldered well and the big pads are soldered, so what more could you want? Let's see if we can find a replacement for this one. Okay, so I managed to find a chip from a donor. It is a RT, what was it? It's an RT9610 CGQW for those playing along at home. So let's fit that. And then the system should be ready to get put back together, clean up a bit, test and sell. Okay, so let's just do one quick last check of these gate signals, 30k and 4.8. I think that's okay. I should actually probably just double check the resistors to this chip we replaced. So there's a 2R2 just there. Which is good. And 1.5 there. I don't know what that is. But it measures 8k. Let's compare it to this one. Measures 5. And 8 the other way. Yeah, so that's all good. Cool. Let's get it back together. Cool. So there we go. Got all the screws back in. I cleaned up as much of that fluff out the fans as I could. Got rid of all that gooch fluff. Let's see. If I did all of this right, then this laptop should be fully working now. Still got a charge light, which is good news. Hit the power button. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So yeah, I'm going to get this one reset. I'm going to give it a bit of a cosmetic cleanup. Get rid of all the dust and the dirt on it. I'm going to get it up on eBay and get it sold. Come on, what are you doing? Are you still on? So I'm back. Things were looking so promising with this one, but something's not right. It works most of the time, but it does seem to crash, seemingly at random, and I can't get the thing to turn back on until I've removed the battery and then plugged it back in. I've checked everything I can think of, but I can't get it working right. I'm starting to think that the CPU may have been damaged by those failing MOSFETs. Whatever it is, I can't seem to figure it out, so despite the unit nearly working, we're going to have to call this one a loss. So I paid £198.03 for that. We take that off our £511 total. That brings our balance down to £313.81. So yeah, this one's been a little disappointing. Hopefully I'll be luckier next time. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.